play 4 of the top 7 teams in the state over the next 5 weeks.
Yeah, we're going to be going down that gauntlet stretch, and maybe we can sneak a few away. If we play to our potential, I believe that we can win some of these ball games.
So here we go. The Raiders will be in white and red with blue helmets. Mavericks decked out in their all green tonight. On the radio dial, they'll kick off left to right, so the Mavericks will be going right to left back toward the scoreboard here at Manchester. As White goes deep, he'll be flanked by Biderman and Ethan White. Jake White's the deep man, his cousin. As we're just about underway, 12 minutes is put on the clock and waiting on the whistles to blow, and there they go, Dan. Here we are. Kickoff, first home game for Manchester Academy's on its way. It's going to be a good kick all the way down to the 10-yard line where White's going to pick it up and stumble, and he's going to be hit immediately at the 12. Biderman, I'm not sure why he didn't go back. I thought he might should have gone and got that ball, but he decided to let it go over his head, and White picks it up and doesn't have much room by the time he gets over it. Nice kick and coverage by Riverfield.
Yeah, they nice kick deep. They kind of kicked into a dead area over there, and by the time they picked it up, everybody was up there. Coverage was on him.
So Mavericks going to have a new quarterback tonight. It's going to be Brendan Thrasher, the senior. He came in the second half against Wynonna last week. He won 5 in the second half where he was 3 for a touchdown pass. Good when he came in. He'll be in a pistol formation with 2 receivers to the near or far side, 1 to the near. As he'll take the snap, and they're going to come down the line and run an option. He pitches the ball late and gets it out there. Nice pitch. White's going to be hitting up into it. The ball comes out, but White landed on the shoulder. That was a nasty looking hit there.
It was a good run, but didn't like the way he come up. He's holding his shoulder, but hopefully he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he kind of landed, got popped up in. He's jogging back and landed on his head, but nice job by the Mavericks. First play of the game, gets them 5 yards. Positive play, and that's what the Mavericks need on first down to shorten that chain a little bit.
It is. That's a good first down run. Picked up good. Looked like going to call it 6 yards. So that's a good first down run.
So Mavericks will have the ball on the 18-yard line. Excuse me, the 24-yard lines. They'll come back out, same formation. Take the snap. It's going to be a handoff, and White's going to go straight up the middle for not much gain, maybe a yard or two. The linebackers came up pretty quick for Riverfield, but Mavericks will have a short. Well, they're going to pick up 2. A nice spot by the referee. It'll be 3rd and 3. Manageable distance for the Mavericks.
Yeah, this is the way we need to be playing right here. This is good, a good drive starting out. We just don't make the mistakes. Don't shoot ourselves in the foot. Let's pick up a first down here and let's keep the momentum going.
So Mavericks break the huddle again with 3 wide receivers, staying in the pistol formation with Ethan White at halfback, 2 receivers to the near side on the boundary side. And they'll take the snap, and White falls in the backfield, slipped in on the turf, and unfortunate with a 3rd and short 2 yards. He got back up, took the handoff, but the Mavericks are not going to get any gain, and it's going to be 4th and 1, and they're going to have to punt the. That was just unfortunate, Dan, with him slipping in the backfield.
Yeah, it looked like he slipped coming up out of a stance, but kind of made the play a little bust. But it looks like Mavericks lining up might go for it.
Well, he had a little hole there. So the Mavericks look like they're going to go for it here. They're going to pull out all the stops as they're playing one of the top-ranked teams in the state tonight in Riverfield Academy. So 4th down, and I'm going to call it 1.5, maybe 2 yards at the most. I bet we're going to try to jump them off. We'll see if we actually snap the ball. And we do snap it, and it was a delayed quarterback sneak. I'm not sure if we were supposed to snap that ball or not. Coach Beckwith does not look real happy. It was 2 seconds left. I'm not sure what happened. Thrasher looked kind of surprised that he actually got the ball.
Yeah, it looked like because he just kind of stood there a second, and then he decided to run. So
yeah, that was kind of a funny looking play. I'm not saying it was a wrong play going for a quarterback sneak, but just something didn't look right. As the ball snapped to him, he caught it and stood around. So Riverfield takes over on offense now. They'll go from an I formation with 3 wide receivers, puts a slot man in motion, and I think we're going to start. Well, they're going to call encroachment on the Mavericks. I didn't see anybody even move. Must have been one of the interior linemen, but that's going to give them an easy 5 yards at 1st and 5 now on the 21.
I'm not sure what to call it. Was it like a receiver on Riverfield jump, man in motion.
The Mavericks are going to go with 5 down linemen. They're going to take the snap, toss it to the left, and there's going to be a little running room, but not much. Nice job by the Mavericks as Ethan White was there first. Then a host of Mavericks come in and stop them for a 3-yard gain and bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Raiders.
That was a good defensive looking play there by the Mavericks.
That was a little better than what we've been seeing. They flew to the ball that time.
They did. It looked like they kind of knew what the trap and the counter was doing, because it looked like Riverfield probably watched film on us and looked like they were running a trap.
They'll break huddle and have a 2nd and 2. As again, now they'll have 3 men in the I formation stacked behind each other in the Maryland I. Hand it off straight ahead to the very back one. He's going to have a pretty good hole, and he's going to rumble down inside the 10, maybe down the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal now for Riverfield. The Raiders took over on the short field after the 4th down try by Manchester, and now have 1st and goal from the 8.
Yeah, nice play there by Joseph Biteman, the sophomore, stepping up, coming from that free safety spot, come in, played the hit, and Grant Nixon come in and cleaned him up. Mavericks are playing good here on defense. Looks like playing a little flying to the ball, got a little pep in their step this week.
They'll take the snap, hand it off. It's looked okay, nothing big up the middle. The biggest run was the 2nd and 2 a minute ago that they went 6 yards down inside the 10 on.
Yeah, it was a good play there. Stop hard. Yeah. What we were talking about, the defense needed to do, and they're doing it tonight.
Again, they'll line up with 3 running backs in the line, and they're going to hand it off to that big back. And he's hit right at the line by, again, it was Martin. This time a host of Mavericks get there. And Martin was able to get by he's playing nose guard right now, and he was able to get by the center, and it's going to be no gain and bring up 3rd down.
That was a good play by the double. Defensive line, it played tonight, it looks like.
Martin was sick last week and just got over the flu. Tonight, Sam Bunch is out for the Mavericks. He's got the flu. Mavericks don't have a lot of players, and it's going through the ranks right now. Looks like Martin's a little bit healthier this week than he was last. So, again, they'll line up those 3 running backs on 3rd and goal, take the snap, hand it out to the big man on the left side, and he's going to go down and be stopped just short. Dan, that's a big running back there. They moved their tight end in, and I'm guessing he's 6'3", 220 pounds, and he is a load when he's downhill.
He is. He looks like he's bigger than the offensive lineman they have.
Number 3 is in the game. He started tonight. It's going to be Grant Callahar getting his first start for the senior. And here we go. Goal to go on 4th down on the 3-yard line. And again, a flag comes out, and again, Manchester lines up in the neutral zone. Not sure who that is. And that's going to be a costly penalty. It's going to go from 4th and 3 to 4th and 1, almost to the right on the 1-yard line. So Mavericks, 2 costly penalties, although they've been flying the ball, looking good on defense. They're really going to have to bow their necks to stop this big run. They're going to have to sell out one side or the other.
Yeah, a big play here for the Mavericks.
Quarterback goes under center. He's going to hand it off to the big man. He's going to get outside and score a touchdown. Mavericks will be down 6-0. Raiders had a short field. Mavericks looked pretty good on defense. Just couldn't get a stop. Had them 4th and goal from 3, and then had neutral zone infraction. Cost them 2 yards there, and ultimately a touchdown probably. As Riverfield will try their point, as they take a 6-0 lead with 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. The Mavericks are line up, try to block this extra point. The snap is good. The hole's down. The Mavericks get a piece of it, and they're going to block it up the middle. Not sure who it was who got his hand up there first, but maybe Edgar. If it is, he had one earlier in the season against Kirk, and the Mavericks will trail 6-0. Defense looked good, just gave them a short field of 21 yards, but I like the way the defense looked on that first series, Dan. That was the most aggressive we've looked all season.
I do too. That was really encouraging there. I was glad to see that. It doesn't make me feel too bad when you stop them pretty good. You shot yourself in the foot a couple times with those offsides, but we were able to hold them pretty good. Got 3 running backs in there. We've been having trouble stopping them. We look good tonight.
The Mavericks are huddled up on the sideline. While they're doing that, we'll wait on the Riverfield Academy team to come out and here they are. The pregame show, the coaches show tonight was brought to you by Newsom Trucking Company, even though we weren't able to play them. We were having technical difficulties. Hopefully we might be able to get it during halftime. If not, we'll get Coach Alan Pavette, the head of schools up here, as we said, and talk to him a little bit about his envision for Manchester as he takes over this school year. And the kick's going to be a short one. It's going to go straight down. And it's going to be caught by, I believe that's Archer Choate on the far side. Kick and scoop it up, and the Mavericks are going to have outstanding field position as the kick was squibbed a little bit, and they'll take over at the 42-yard line and come back on offense. Looked pretty good on offense until they had Jake White slip in the backfield on a 3rd and short. Would have liked to see what had happened had they got that play in.
Yeah, I do too. You know, between that and that 4th down snap, you know, I don't think they intended to snap it. Kind of caught Linden off guard.
So the Mavericks look like they're going to stay with this 3 wide receiver set out of the pistol. As the snap's low, and they're going to really mess this one up as Thrasher picked it up and then turned around, should have just taken the sack and tried to pitch it to White. Instead of losing 8 yards, the Mavericks going to lose about 16 on that play. Ball went right through his hands. It was a little bit low, but quarterbacks have got to come up with those. We've had a couple of those this year throughout the season where we're just not handling that snap.
Yeah, that's a big loss there. You know, we got to learn to just either take the sack or you know, get rid of it. But
so now we'll go to a 4 wide receiver set with White in at the tailback position. Thrasher gets it. He's going to look and throw it long. He's got a man out there, Edgar, and in and out of his hands at the 47. Nice try by Edgar. I thought he was going to come up with a good coverage by number 21 from Riverfield, but thought Edgar had that one that time.
Yeah, I do too. I thought he had that one the way he come back around the defender.
It was a good throw. They had what they wanted. They had one-on-one on the boundary side there with the other 3 wide receivers. Took a shot down the field. Edgar just couldn't quite come up, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long. We'll see again if they try it to the opposite side as they're lining up the same formation with White out on the other side. It looks like the Raiders are going to bring a blitz from the corner. They do, and they're going to throw a wide receiver screen, and then slips and the ball goes through his hands, and the Mavericks are going to have to punt him. As he's hobbling a little bit after slipping this field. I don't see where they're leaving any marks, but obviously it's wet out there still because we've had a couple of slips already that cost the Mavericks tonight.
Yeah, it looked like that play was going to be open for, you know, I don't say he might want to got the 1st down, but it was going to be open. But I think a little traction issues tonight.
Yeah, may need to put the longer cleats in at halftime. Miller will be your long snapper with Edgar's going to be the punter after Ethan White was hurt last week. He has a hip flexor. Nice snap by Miller, and punt's on its way, and it's a pretty good one end over end. It's going to hit around the 50 and take a big bounce. Fielded at the 45. Choate misses them at the 50, and the running back's coming down the far sideline down to the 40-yard line. Then Choate had a chance to get him at 45. He slipped by him, and a nice return of about 15 yards is going to put the Raiders on the Mavericks side of the field at 40 with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left, and the Mavericks trailing 6-0.
Oh, I thought, you know, we had a chance to have him hemmed up on the other side of the 50, but he was able to break loose.
Yeah, it was a good kick. It just went right to him when it bounced. As the Raiders are going to come out this time with 3 wide receivers. Mavericks are scrambling around. In the I formation, they'll put the slot in motion, and they're going to hand it off straight up the middle. And a big hole over the right side this time, and it's going to be about 9.5 yards. Just short of the 1st down. First man to reach him, rode him down after he got on his back, and brings up 2nd and short.
Yeah, we got to get that defensive line back motivated here, and we can put some stops together.
During the coaches show, Coach Beckwith talked about that. He was warning when they were in the spread formation. He felt like they could stop them when they were crouched in like they were on that first drive, but now they'll go 4 wides. Having you uncovering on the outside here, they need to call out, but Riverfield elects to go with a quarterback sneak to get a 1st down and missed an opportunity as the Mavericks had not covered the slot on the right side.
Good tackle there by Bodie Martin. Buckley, they decided to run because he did have a receiver over here wide Nobody elected to guard him.
Yeah, I'm not sure who was supposed to be out there. Possibly Thrasher. Again, they'll come out with 2 wide receivers this time, split on each side, and go hurry. This time, snap the ball right off the count, and we're going to get a hold. As there was a big hold, and I think Martin that time was held. I saw the yellow flag come into the middle of the field. And normally, that's where you want it if you're on defense.
Yeah, definitely a hold. It kind of slung Martin around by his jersey to open that gap up for him to run in, so that one will come back.
They started Martin at defensive tackle, moved him to linebacker last week, and have him back at nose guard. Now he's really looked comfortable at nose guard tonight. He's been in the backfield the whole night.
Yeah, he's been aggressive up there on that line. And, you know, that's what he was playing last year, and he did a good job.
So the Mavericks down 6-0 with 3 minutes left against the Riverfield Academy, and Riverfield's going to get behind the chains. It'll be 1st and 20 for them now on the Mavericks 37 yard line. As they'll line up again in I formation. Split receivers both sides. They'll take the snap and roll the quarterback out. He's looking to the right, and he's got that big receiver. And nice play there by number 9, Joseph Bidleman. He had him by a step. Bidleman caught up, got a hand in there, and knocks the ball away. Sophomore safety did a nice job covering the slot man. 6'4", way bigger than Bidleman.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Joseph Bidleman there, deflected pass.
So the Mavericks, another flag in the middle. I'm assuming maybe another holding call. That's what it looks like. Nope, ineligible man downfield, so the Mavericks will decline that one, keep it 2nd and 20. As Riverfield now is a little bit behind the chains themselves.
We might should have taken that and tried to keep them working them back, try to get their field position flop back. But 2nd and 20 looks is very much in our favor.
Well, Riverfield will step back up in the shotgun. They were on a quarterback draw, and Edgar missed him on the left side. Almost had him at the line of scrimmage. Nice job as Miller and Bidleman, I believe, came up and made the tackle. A gain of only 5, but still a good job by the Mavericks. It brings up 3rd and 15.
Yeah, that was another good job by the Mavericks there. Like Jack stayed home and was able to hold him up, and Bidleman come in and clean him up.
So Mavericks playing number 5. We've talked about how hard schedule they have, Dan. Mavericks still ranked number 11 in the state, even though they're 0-2. And you may see that this year. We may take some lumps during the season, but stay ranked high with who we've been playing. As they'll go with a 3 wide receiver set and going to roll the quarterback out. Miller flushes them, and they're going to run them out of bounds. And that's going to make it a 4th and probably 7 or 8. Miller got into the backfield, broke the pocket down, and the quarterback flushed out. And the defense backs came up and got them out of bounds after about a 6 or 7 yard gain. Brings up a 4th and 8. A big play for the Mavericks coming up here, down 6-0 in the first quarter with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah, this is a big play here coming up for the Mavericks. Get a stop here. Not only does it get you the ball back, but it brings that morale back up. You know, gets them their mojo back.
And Mavericks need to get some pressure on the quarterback, not let them sit back there. They're going to run 2 wide receivers out, split with a halfback, 2 tight ends. Mavericks have to watch those tight ends. They take the snap and hand it off up the middle. One man misses the tackle, and the Mavericks are going to get them down just short. I think it's going to be really close depending on that spot. I may have gotten the first down. Gang tackle and had them at first, and the big back kept pushing, and it's going to be very close here.
I think they held him here.
We're going to look. They may measure this one. That's what's going to happen. They're going to measure this, Dan. We had him. This back is huge. He is one big guy back there. Mavericks hit him about 3 yards off the line, and he just kept pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yeah, this is a bigger one. It's bigger around than the tall one they have.
I'm going to say they got it by a nose, but maybe not. It's close. It's going to be real close.
Mavericks got
held them by about a half a ball, so the Mavericks fired up on defense. Good job by the Manchester Academy Mavericks stopping Riverfield on 4th down play inside their 25-yard line. They'll take over on the 24 and get a second chance as we'll see what the coaches try to do here. Mavericks playing tough so far, giving up one touchdown on a short field.
Yeah, that was a big play there by the Mavericks. You know, it's big back, hard to bring down, but at least it was sharp. Hey, it's a game of inches, and was able to bring him down. So now we got to get the offense rolling.
Riverfield's got 45 players to Manchester's 23. It would be interesting to see if we wear it down later. But we'll start this snap. It's going to be a little bubble screen to White. He'll break one tackle in the backfield, scoot around. He's pulling another man. Did a lot of work, but got 5 yards. I like that play. That was another one that Coach Beck would talk about, maybe running a few bubbles to get them to the outside. And it worked. The throw was a little bit, I think the ball's getting wet. It's a heavy dew out there, it looks like tonight. And the throw wasn't too crisp, but it got there. And most of his throws have got to the receivers. We just got to make sure we catch them. But that'll bring up 2nd down and 6, as the Mavericks again will run 3 wide receivers. They're going to probably run this ball back toward us to the field side. They got Edgar way out, and they do. They're going to run an option, and a nice job by Riverfield is the cornerback came up and got in between the pitch man and the quarterback, Thrasher, and Thrasher couldn't do anything but keep the ball, and he'll gain 1 or 2, but that's going to be it.
Yeah, you know, nice decision, though, to keep it because they had Jake swallowed up. He kept looking like he wanted to pitch, but took a wise decision. Just went ahead and, you know, took it on down. Get the 1 yard.
So 3rd and, I'm going to call it a long 5 for the Mavericks on their own 21, and we're going to get a official timeout. Nope, we call timeout with 55 seconds. While they do that, we'll thank some sponsors as we're getting toward the end of the quarter. The Mavericks playing tough right now against Riverfield Academy. Sponsors bringing the games are Bank Plus, Ayers Delta Implement, Simmons, Scott Petroleum, Manchester Academy, Good Hope, Bank of Yazoo City, Yazoo Valley Electric, McCaleb Insurance, Webb's, P-Rose, Yazoo County Fair, Trucking, and Gilbert's Lumber brings the player of the game. Thank you to all these teams, or excuse me, all these sponsors that football Power 107. So Mavericks break out of their timeout with 55 at 3rd and 5. They'll come out with receivers. Split, they'll go with a tight end with Miller moving back to tight end from slot, and they're going to run out of the I formation, a little waggle or something, and that's exactly what we do. Thrasher gets outside, being chased. Good throw to Nixon, and he gets that a 1st down. They mark him, and that's absolutely a nice catch by him as he a deep little hitch. Thrasher did a good job, avoided a defender, and made a nice pass. The Mavericks will move the chains here. 44 seconds left here in the 1st quarter, trailing 6-0.
That was a great play by Adam. Avoided. He had 2 guys on the shirt tail, and he was able to avoid eyes downfield. Come on.
Yeah, his eyes down. He was ready to throw the ball. Knocked out by Nixon there. Catch as the Mavericks will go back to that. Actually, now to Jake White. It's a bad snap. White's able to pick it up. He needs to get down, but he makes a move in the backfield, and he is feet 40. Gets him 35, 40. And that could have been we need 10 yards to gain him about 7 or 8 away from breaking that.
Hey, 1 man, and he's off to the foot races.
1 second left in the quarter, and that's it. The Mavericks going to end the 1st quarter. Really good football against the number 5 team in the state. When we come back, crowds clapping and very appreciative. Until then, we'll be Power 7 for a 1-minute commercial break. At the rate tonight, Mavericks will have it 1st and 10 on their own 35, fighting hell with a bigger team out of Riverfield. well, not overhead again. As now the Mavericks line up again, the Wildcat formation. Right at the Wildcat, take the snap. Miller makes a good block on the outside. White takes a step to the inside, and he's going to get a first down. He has popped at the chains, but that's going to be another first down with this Wildcat.
Yeah, that was there by Jake. Another good 8 yards.
So Mavericks back first downs. We'll see if they stay in the Wildcat. They're bringing Thrasher back out. They were going to run a little bit with Thrasher. Could maybe use a little later on with a pass to him and then let him throw it downfield. But 6-0, 11 minutes 48 seconds left. We've got a stoppage. Not sure. The problem is the game may have been a little slow moving it.
Yeah, they were kind of turned around on that first down play. They had a second, two.
Didn't swap fields. Well, the Mavericks will again go with, it looks like the Wildcat with Thrasher, the quarterback, at slot. Two backs with Miller and White. Oh, for right there, and that tackled at the line of scrimmage.
Yes. Hey, nothing hurt there. You know, pretty good drive here. Just keep it going.
Well, Mavericks just control the ball, get a couple scores, keep it close to the fourth, and we'll see what happens. They'll line up Thrasher and quarterback. They're going back to that 4 wide receiver set with Edgar, Jake Miller on the far side, Nixon on the other side. As they take a snap, they're going to run that wide screen, and Edgar's not going to have much. It was very good for Riverfield. They're going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It looked like they were about on that.
Yeah, I think they kind of knew that ball screen was coming up out there. They did well, but at least, you know, third and 10, so they're back at three.
Coaches are doing a good job tonight of mixing up plays. Best they've done all year. I like what they're doing. They're showing a bunch of looks. The I formation here with 2 receivers to roll out in, and there'll be a rollout, and they're going to cross the field, and it's going to be interesting. That was as Thrasher threw it back across the field without looking. I think that's going to be a turnover.
Yeah, I think he kind of was throwing to a spot there. Edgar was there, and he was open. He just kind of threw it up. Not really sure where Edgar was.
He was throw it more toward the middle. Coach with pointing. That's one you've got to eat. I had an offense quarterback coach tell me that the quarterback, the only thing you can't do is turn the ball. Score a touchdown, you win. If you punt the ball, you win. You can't turn it. Eating that one. Top of that, the Mavericks did a 15-yard for personal foul. Didn't do it zone, but that's going to give the Raiders a short. They'll take over on the 31-yard line. Mavericks had gotten out to the 40 and had a chance to position. High formation. Takes the snap, head off up the middle, and Guthrie gets a first, and I'm scared to get a face mask, but we may have a hole on the outside, so it could be an offset. The guy just happened to get in the mask.
Mask. Good.
Could have been. It's going to be a face mask. Him making the motion. It was a nice play by Guthrie as he got in. Personal mask.
Offense.
Nice call by you, Dan. That's why they the big bucks to sit. That's a good call. Run tried to score him. Got for a really good.
Telling him, you know, down or if you're play.
Mavericks. Raiders. Quarter by the Mavericks again. This first there was came in there also to pick up some yards, and that's. I thought second down. I thought it was a loss of. There's second down now. And I see Coach Beckwith. I asked wondering why. I think he's asking the thing why it's not third down because the penalties face mask after the play.
Yeah.
During the play, you know, a loss. Anyway, it's 23. As they'll go at Maryland High with 3 men straight in line, they'll hand it off to the last man. He'll have a little room up the middle. Again, the Mavericks do a really stop off the side.
Yeah, that's good. Good job, Jack. Miller looked like White come in and clean him up.
Yeah, set the edge just being very good and let the linebackers they're supposed to do make. Now they just need to make sure they don't get beat deep. They probably deep cover two. You already see two of the safety because they'll go with 4 wide look at the Raiders. They'll go. The snap comes and they're going to run a quarterback sneak and go where next time. By the Mavericks, I think the Raiders or not, they punt the Mavericks back deep. Mavericks good 6-0 Raiders. It's left in 4.
Great play there by coming off in and paying him. Stayed at home, did his job.
Don't need to try to one of those just battles and the next one. 7:50 seconds on the clock. So this run snap's a good one. It's away, and it's going to be a wobbly one off the side of his foot. Right, he's not going to have much room. He breaks, spins away to the left. He's at third, and by Riverfield on the yard line, bounce right to 3 Raiders through him.
Jay, and he was able to pick it up and
so the Mavericks will take over 29-10 with 7.5 minutes left. Riverfield scored on their first possession after the Mavericks turned the ball over, going for it on 1 on their own 20, being aggressive. As they'll come out in a wild, they will with Jake White. They'll put Miller and Ethan White on the right side, blocking bats. Thrash goes in motion. They're going to pitch it to Thrash. He's in a little bit of trouble. Look, throw the ball to be sacked because no one was on the trick and didn't fall for it. Thrasher probably should have thrown that one long out of bounds.
Yeah, you know, tried a little trick play. Can't play. You know, try.
Quarterback last year for the Mavericks, he doesn't have a lot of experience as they ran the ball, you know, other than a few whacks. It's just stuff that quarterback on the fly, the pocket, I can throw that one away. But Mavericks trying to with White at the Wildcat, let him pick over 3 wide receivers. He'll go behind Miller, and this time it's not going to go anywhere as Miller didn't get his block on the defensive end. I think the line of scrimmage to the strike every time it's a Wildcat.
Yeah, I think they kind of know. Hey, that late trick play.
Step run and then a punt where he almost broke it. He's got good speed. They'll come back with 3 wide to get the near side on the side with Miller at the slot. Middle, he's going to have to leg line over through the receiver. He had pressure coming up. He did block job there. They blitz the linebacker. I believe team's there. Actually, 55 is Lane Woods. Did a good job that time on blocking Mavericks going to have to punt deep in their territory after the play messed up. They lost 10 yards on his 4th and 3. Raiders have their return man back at the 50. Mavericks going to try to kick away from him. I see Beckwith pointing to the side. By Edgar to kick, though, all the way out to the 50-yard. Miller, number 65, Trammell. And they'll down at Mavericks 48-yard line with 5 minutes 50 seconds left. Half. Riverfield leads. The Mavericks going to have to bow their neck up again and try to get a stop.
Yeah, defense need to wear us out on defense. You know, that one drive we had picked up for a couple. You know, get back to that drive there. Though I can't, blame coach. Mixing it up and going to the back of tricks.
It just developed a little bit, but it wasn't. Riverfield did a nice job defending down the field as they'll line up for 3 wide receivers formation. They're slow and going to get a good game off the right side of about 8 yards down the 40-yard line and break second short with 5 minutes 40 seconds left. Mavericks would hold here or down by a touchdown. Big play for the Mavericks coming up. A big drive is Riverfield won the toss and deferred. Don't need to let them score and then ball back start.
Going in half.
2 wide receivers far side near I formation. They take the snap, hand it off to the right. By White's hit them, Jake and Ethan. And Miller was in on the tackle also.
Yeah, hopefully we can hold this up. Hopefully our in them. Riverfield knows they're in a fight tonight.
Well, like I said, they've got twice as many players as the Mavericks do. As they do the wide receiver I formation, nobody's covering the slot again, but they put it in motion and they the ball. And he goes Martin Miller in the backfield, but he's going to get about 4 yards. Bring up.
Yeah, don't clock out. Mavs just would stop. Just second, did a good job on first. Let's have a good second down. Let's get before we go into half.
So the Mavericks see some of them with a hand on their hips. Outside, a little muggy. As the field again line that I formation. They moved that time. The referee as the slot man took a step forward, and they're going to run the ball up the middle for several yards. I'm not sure the referee on this side was looking at. He stumbled. He went to go in motion and fell forward. Took a step forward and then came back. That was tough for the Mavericks. There's a penalty coming down in the middle of the field also.
Sportsmanlike on Riverfield. I noticed one of our Maverick players got tossed onto the down running back. Like got slung down by on top of the running back.
Okay. They're definitely Riverfield's already started backwards their offense, and I think you're right again. Yep. But they absolutely missed a false start.
Did.
Of course, it's going to work in the Mavericks' favor. It's a false start. Second and 10. This is going to make it second and 15. And I see the referee motion and looked like a body slam is what he was telling the coach. A little WWE action as there's 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Clock is stopped after the penalty. They're going to give them a first down. Down, I guess, before the penalty, but they go all the way back to the 40-yard line. So the Mavericks will still be on defense. Raiders are in formation. They'll take us off. Not much room on the right. But Jesus through Miller, and I thought they had him at the line of scrimmage. And number 7's not a big back.
Yeah. Slippery. He kind of hesitates a good bit too. Tries to get in between those. Running.
So second 5 coming up. 3 seconds, 0 as the Raiders are deep in the Mavericks territory on the 34-yard line. They'll put everybody on the lines. Toss sweep to the side on the right. Nice job on the right side. Turns them back in, and Ethan White up and hits them. He'll gain 3. Brings up maybe 3rd and 3 to the spot. Looks closer to 3rd and 3. Scoreboard says 3rd and 4 for 2 minutes 45 seconds. Clock's ticking. Enough. I think they're going to be in 2 down territory right here.
Some of these fans kind of argue with that call too. One person supposed to march it back, even though he got first down. Penalty coming in and should have negated.
So the Mavericks again, they'll bunch everybody in. There's only one wide receiver on each side, and they'll hand it off to number 7 on the right side, and he jumped in the Mavericks. It was Bodie back there low, and he jumped over and is going to pick up the first down. 24-yard line, 16 seconds left here in the first quarter. Mavericks trailing the Raiders, the number 5 team in the state in 3A. The Raiders beat Centerville earlier this year, one of our opponents for later on, and they're a team and normally a powerhouse. So this is a good team we're watching the Mavericks face tonight.
Yeah, the Mavericks are standing their own. You know, couple shooting herself in the foot. You know, this will be a whole different ball game.
Formation, 1st and 10 from the 24. Snap comes to the running back. He pops out there. He lost containment. He's going to rumble before they knock him out. It's going to be a first down. Edgar pushed in. They found the outside edge after working that right side. And it'll be a 1st and 10 on the Mavericks 11-yard line.
A little pep and step by Ethan White there. He laid the wood on that boy, and that number 14's been talking a lot of smack to him all night. And I think he just kind of pushed him up. He's gingerly walking to the side.
Yeah, he hit him hard as he got to the out of bounds. He was able to get around Edgar, but just a little bit of containment there. Up 1st and 10 from the 11. Mavericks really need to stop the Raiders here as they're going to toss sweep to the side. And White's going to be out there, and they get a hold on Miller.
Yeah.
That's why he got the outside, number 8, holding Miller. I kept wanting to. They called it, and that's going to be a 10-yard penalty. That's how he got outside with 1:37 now. And that's going to march all the way back to the 20. Get a little bit red.
That shouldn't have never developed. You could easily see he just kept stringing it out. You know, I'm glad the refs finally called it.
Miller, 6'1", about 200 pounds. He's a big boy on the outside. He's hard to move. They had 80 on him tight end, and they were pushing and shoving, and he finally got his hands on top of his shoulder pads, and the referee called it. And we're going to have a timeout with 1:37 left. Mavericks 0 as Riverfield's on the 20-yard line after a 10-yard holding call. Mavericks staying playing good as they've gotten several holding calls against them. They're not making it easy.
No, when you get holding calls, you know you're playing aggressive. You know, up front, it's making it hard on them. And so, you know, it's good. That's good for the Mavericks. The defensive line playing good. They're playing up step. They're playing aggressive. So it's a good thing.
So the Mavericks will break the huddle here as they're waiting on Riverfield Academy off their sidelines. 1:37. Mavericks have the first, or Riverfield has 1st and 20 on the Mavericks 21-yard line. As Riverfield's taking the time here, they finally break. I'm not sure why the play clock hadn't started. The Riverfields were talking to me in the huddle about something. The clock never started, so no pressure on Riverfield. They're slow getting out on the clock. Half. They'll go with 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Mavericks need to at quarterback as they out. Quarterback shotgun. He'll take a snap. He's going to his right and throw long. It's going to be high. Nobody there. Nice job by the Mavericks. They had White, Thrasher, and Miller applied pressure from the defensive end, and the Mavericks did a good job there bringing up second down.
Yeah, stand here by the Mavericks. You know, it's got to like you said. I think they kind of know there's a minute left on the clock. They're kind of in pass down territory here and going to get it in the end zone.
Mavericks just cannot let them throw it on from just trying to get off, get back in the offensive side. 6-0. If they can go into half 6-0, that'd be great. Play good regardless of what happens on this drive. They'll line up in that formation again. Clock's down 2 seconds, 1 second. That should have been a delay of game. They get the snap off and throw a slant, and Miller almost picks it off. He gets his hands up and bats it down. Actually had hands, and that ball was thrown hard. And now up a 3rd down and 20 now. Minute 25 left.
Great play by the defensive end there to get his hand up, put the big mitts in the air, and deflect that pass.
So Miller, they tried to run a slant and throw a good route. Miller happened to get his hands in the right spot. Could have come down with deflected. 3rd and 20. A bunch of people on the lines. They line up the I formation. Now they're going to try a little trick pass. They're going to have number 80 wide open as he got by Nixon. And that touch toss to the got caught looking ahead at the running back, and that's a touchdown for the Raiders with 18 left.
Yeah, we just got to stay.
Mavericks did a good job. They had pressure coming. Nixon, he took just a hesitation with cost it to come up. Defensive backs on that, it's a pass down. You've got to be disciplined enough to stay back. And Manchester got caught in the I guess as you say that.
Yeah, if you know that big lined up wide, you got to stay with him because you know they're going to try to toss it up in the air to him.
And the Raiders 12-0 with minute 18 left. They have to take a timeout. They'll do that with our sponsors. Sponsors this year bring you the game here at Manchester Academy are Bank Plus, Ayers Delta, Simmons, Catfish, Scott Petroleum, Manchester Academy, Good Hope, Bank of Yazoo City, Yazoo Electric, Calibration, Caps, Webb's, P-Rose, Yazoo County Fair Association, Lumber, and Trucking. All these sponsors that are bringing us Manchester Academy football on Power 107. The Mavericks quick play for a touchdown. The minute 18 here in the first half. They trail now the number 5 team in the state 12-0. As they'll come out on defense, we'll see. It looks like Riverfield's going to go for possibly. See if they can get up 14-0, Dane.
Yeah, it'd be good. Here, Mavericks don't let them get this. Let's get the ball back. And I would love to see him kick it deep to him, and he's I think he's going to break one.
They'll take it and hand it off to the running back over the right side, and he's going to get in as he goes over the right tackle. And Barton bring them down, and that's going to be a 2-point conversion. Mavericks trail 14-0 now with minute 18 left here in the half. The main thing is you want to score, but don't want to take a chance to go first. Let's come back, deep and see if we can hold them to get the field flipped in the second half.
Yeah, you got to make, you got to play to win, but you got to play smart ball too. Don't want to make a.
So come out. White deep again. He'll be by, or Jake White will be deep. Ethan White on the left side, Vitamin on the right. Then one thing they talked about this week is last week Archie Choden called a fair kick. The ball went over. We got Coach Beckwith and I talked about that also. He said he has told everybody if it's not coming at you, do not call fair catch. As the Mavericks returned it and the referees didn't call it. But the Raiders ready to kick off for the second time. We'll see how they do it. They'll kick it deep, and it's going to go to Jay White. He'll pick it up at the 15, come back to the 20, tries to get outside, does to the left side, come down the near far side, gets run out of bounds 3-yard line, so now we have a little bit of room, maybe run a play or something. They can pick up a short game to get in at 12. The worst thing they can do is give the ball back to Riverfield. They've played a really good first half right here at Buster Crawford Stadium at Manchester Academy in Yazoo City in front of a big crowd. I'm glad the crowd came out and supported the guys after a tough start of the season. Road trips.
Yeah, it's a good crowd here, and you know, they come out. I mean, the boys are, I believe, I appreciate it. Good ball tonight.
With close, the play clock starts. Game starts on minute 12. There's a White on the left side. Jake White, Mavericks, is pinned up. No spins and gets back up to the 35. Running, he again like one man darted around several times, making it just hadn't quite got. But that 3 or 4 yards. But when he goes to the cat, they are bringing.
They are, and you know, that's Jake just being Jake and being slippery like he is, and maybe turning into something. And it was a good first down run, you know, because he should enough. I mean, nothing.
Yeah, they could probably, I don't know if they run this play, but dump it off to either Miller or Ethan White, because they're bringing the house each time. And again, he'll go on the left side. This time he breaks to the left. He's got a little running room, cuts up the middle, feet down to the 49, 48. And another nice run by White. He is doing good. He's a little banged up and tired looking, but 25 seconds left. The Mavericks still have 2 timeouts. Not sure why they're not using one here, and they will take it. Mavericks will have to run a hurry-up offense a little bit. I know we like running that quarterback back and forth. This is why they practice that hurry-up. They're going to have to use some signals here as they have moved it all the way down to the 47-yard line into the Raider territory with 25 seconds left here in the first.
Yeah, that was a good run there by Jake. I mean, they know what's coming, and we're still getting yards out of it. And that was a good run here. It kind of puts you in territory where even with 25 seconds, you know, you got a chance at maybe scoring, and if you could, that would be great, you know, knowing that they get it back after half.
So 25 seconds left in the second quarter. Mavericks 14-0 against the number 5 Raiders out of Riverfield Academy in Louisiana. The Mavericks gave up a long third down touchdown pass just a few minutes ago on a trick play, a halfback touchdown pass. They've been able to hold the Raiders pretty much in check. They took a short and scored, and then had another drive of 45 yards. But the Mavericks will come out now with Thrasher again at quarterback, and they've got two near side, one to the backside. As Thrasher drops back, had time throws, got his eyes downfield, dumps it across to Miller. He's at the 40 and gets out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Nice play by Thrasher to keep his eyes on the field. Moves the ball to Miller. Miller came back to him, and we're going to have an ineligible man downfield. I figured it took too long for that pass to happen. That's usually a tough deal for a lineman to stick around when your quarterback starts scrambling. I see Coach Beckwith's arguing. I'm not sure what they're talking about now. The referees will come back and talk. I'm wondering if they're saying that he wasn't. Now they're going to discuss it. I'm not sure who they called it on, Dan, but it was.
I'm not either. The linemen were holding, but they were containing, and it was only receivers down because he just did a little dump pass to Jack, and Jack's the eligible receiver.
Exactly. He wasn't covered up. I know that. So maybe we'll catch a break here and they'll hash it out. 18 seconds left. The Mavericks. This is going to be the difference of being on the 47, their own 47, or down to the 35 of the Raiders. As the referees are still discussing this. The Maverick coaches were pretty upset, Dan. I mean, normally they hold their emotions in check, but that time Coach Beckwith was letting them have it, and he obviously had a valid argument whether he wins or loses it.
I believe he did too, because the sign judge, he had already made the call.
And they're going to call it on the Mavericks, and Mavericks don't like the call. Who it was? I'm like you. I thought everybody was within 3 yards of the ball.
Yeah, you know those referees with those little yellow handkerchiefs control the game, and it's lopsided here, 5-2 penalties here.
And I really think they called it on Miller, but he was not covered up because Choate was the receiver on this side, and he took a step forward, which made Miller into the slot. If that's who they called it on, it was an awful call because Choate was back, looked to the referee, he told him he was back, and he took a step forward and he pulled him over the line. So regardless, the Mavericks will lose 5 yards. Really, they're going to lose almost 20 yards from the play in the result of that 5-yard penalty. Coach Beckley's still out on the field arguing. And he is not happy. This is the most animated I've seen him all season. I think he knows they're in the game, and
He does. I like to see this out of Coach. I totally agree with him. He knows it. Jack was lined up as a receiver. He wasn't covered up. You still had.
That's exactly what he's saying. They called it on Miller because he's telling him he was on the ball. Coach Weaver's come down pointing, and that is a bad call because the referee, the line judge on this side, did not make the call. It was the referee behind everybody that called the play and threw the flag. So
I believe Weaver was trying to show him on the iPad that the sideline judge, he had the right call. He's the one to make the call.
Mavericks will go back in that wildcat and they'll just run on the left side. White busts outside. He's going to have a little running room, and he's going to get down to the 40-yard line with 9 seconds left. And Mavericks will take a timeout. Mavericks showing they can move the ball a little bit, letting White pick his lanes. Again, I would like to see him maybe at halftime looking at drawing up a little dump pass to either Miller or White, Ethan White. I think that's going to be wide open to running. They're not even checking up, touching the half or the cornerback.
I agree. Jake's a good athlete. I mean, he's capable of throwing it. We do like they did a little dump pass or something and be wide open because they like you say, they're bringing the house when they know he's back here in Wildcat.
So the Mavericks have 9 seconds. They're on the 40-yard line of the Raiders. As they come out of the huddle, the referees they're kind of huddled up talking about that last play.
I believe they know they messed up. Sideline judge is supposed to be the one to make that call. Mavericks are definitely realize they can play and they can move the ball.
The Mavericks go 3 wide to the near side, 1 to the far. Snap comes and they had a blitz on and they rolled into Thrasher. He'll be dropped down, and that's going to end this half. He was going to try a Hail Mary, and Beckwith again goes after the referees. He hurries across the middle of the field, but the Mavericks trail 14-0 here. Home crowd's giving them applause as they leave, as they fought tooth and nail with the number 5 team, Riverfield, who was picked to win easily tonight, and Mavericks are giving them what they want. The Mavericks will come back after halftime with kicking off. Maybe it'll get them back deep. Until we're going to go with the Power 107 for a message from our sponsors and be back in about 5 minutes.
when when they tried that little toss, kind of lost on the rushing yards. But Jake's having a good game. He's got 11 total rushes, 40 yards. Like I say, they had that one big negative play. Brendan just tossed it to him, and they took a big loss. But other than that, Brendan's having a decent night back there. He's 4 of 7, got 10 total yards. One pick and one interception. But other than that, the Mavericks don't look too bad on offense. I know the stats don't look real great, but we are moving the ball and getting the first down.
Yeah, we've had our moments. We just a couple bad snaps mishandled, and like I said, a sack or two. Other than that, the running game's actually been good if you take away the sacks. So Ethan White will kick off. He's had a hip flexion. Mavericks weren't sure. We'll see how he kicks, if he goes deep or not. And he's just going to, not really a pooch kick, but he's going to kick it high just to about the 20-yard line. Mavericks come down with decent coverage, and then a good run back all the way back out to the 45-yard line, as I'm not sure who that was that made the tackle look like Martin got him. It was. He came up a little bit slow, but Mavericks had pretty good coverage, but that was a good run by the return man. He caught a seam, and he has some speed.
Yeah.
So the Mavericks will be on defense, trailing 14-0 here against Riverfield. As Riverfield take over on their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10. We're just underway in the third quarter. Mavericks have played well on defenses. Riverfield will line up in the I formation, man in motion, hand the ball off straight up the middle for about 5 yards.
Another by the Mavericks, this week, last when we played Kirk and Winona, they were both getting 7, 8, 9, 10 first down, and we're holding them tonight to 1, 2, 3 yards on, first down.
So 2nd down 5 now on the 49 as they go across the 50-yard line, break the huddle. They'll run 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. They have the big tight end on the right side in the I formation as the Mavericks will bunch in everyone again. Again, number 20 goes in motion, and Coach Weaver's going crazy as they hand the ball off on the right side, and he's going to rumble down for about 4 yards, bring up 3rd and 1. And that is the 2nd time that the receiver, the slot man on this side, has moved. He stumbles before he goes in motion, and it's a false start, and they've missed it both times. The coaches are absolutely going berserk on the referee, but he hadn't drawn his flag yet.
I'm beginning to wonder if Riverfield brought the refs with them when they came up tonight, but there's a few bad calls. I mean, I know the line judge sitting there watching.
So I formation, 3rd and 1. See if the Mavericks can do something here as they hand the ball off, and tough running. They're going to get the first down on a 2nd effort. As Martin again was the first man back there, they're going to get 3 yards, and that's going to bring up a 1st and 10 on the 41-yard line.
Yeah, it's still a good play. Good defensive play there by the Mavericks. They had him in the backfield, and he was able to slip one tackle, but still, 2-yard gain. He was able to get the first down, but still, good play there by the defense.
So again, the I formation split receivers. Mavericks have 9 men in the box, and they'll hand the ball off straight up the middle, and this time he's hit at the line of scrimmage on White, and somehow or another gets off of him and falls forward for 4 yards. Mavericks, I thought they had him right there, and the running back just keeps bouncing off. He's a slippery guy.
Yeah, Ethan came up and put a good lick on him, though. He felt that he kind of gingerly towed it on off to the sideline. They brought that other running back in. He's been acting like he's been a little slow, too, tonight.
So they're going to stick with this I formation. They see something they like, and they run a little bit up the middle, not for big yardage, but just enough to keep the chains moving. And again, they're going to hand it off straight up the middle, nowhere to run. This time he bounces to the left outside, and it should have been a block in the back on Callahar. Nothing's called, and he'll be running out of bounds on 14. Callahar got pushed from behind right in the middle of the field as he was coming up to make the tackle. There was no call, and he was complaining, and Coach Beck was holding his hands up like, I don't know what to do. The referees have swallowed the flags.
Yeah, that was another way miscall there. I mean, it was easy. Callahar was in good position to make the tackle, and just the guy comes up pushing the back.
Yeah, I mean, when he pushed him, he went flying forward, and he was about to contain the edge, and instead it's a 15-yard pickup down the 15-yard line. 1st and 10, 9 minutes left in the quarter as the Mavericks needing to stop here. Riverfield takes a snap, and White comes up, Nice job by the Mavericks. As Miller's ended up making the tackle. White got through the line, and the running back bounces outside. Miller wraps him up, and it's going to be a loss of 2.
Great play there. Like Jake busted through the line, coming in on. I guess he was stunting, and he come in there and disrupted play. And Miller was there to clean him up.
Guttery's going to come off. I think he's a little bit banged up, holding his hand. Maybe looks like something came off. I'm not sure. Maybe his belt got broke. Anyway, he's off field, I formation. They're going to hand it off the middle again. Not much room on that right side as Miller and Martin have been tough over there tonight. Martin's helmet comes off. He'll have to come out of the game. They'll have to put Guttery back in, hopefully. As the Mavericks need to get a player on, they're going to bring in Owen Pilla. So we'll see how they're going to do this as a defensive tackle comes out. Now James Aaron is coming in, and he'll go to the defense tackle. 3rd and 8. Big play coming up for the Mavericks here.
Yeah, it's a big play here.
We'll see they cover the big tight end. Formation takes the snap, hands off on a reverse, and he's going to get to the outside, and we're going to get a holding on Callahar. Callahar's played a really good game. That's going to be a hold again. The flags came in 3 of them that time as Callahar was being held, couldn't set the edge. He ran a little reverse. Mavericks had strung it out pretty good. Edgar out. Callahar was coming to make the tackle and just got ripped to the ground.
Yeah, they missed the hold on the inside too. It looked like Edgar was staying at home and was ready to clean that reverse up, and the hold there. But needless to say, they were able to pull them out of their pants. I guess they wasn't tough deep in their pockets. They were able to get them out.
Nice job by the Mavericks there of stringing that one out. They get a holding call. Now the Mavericks will have their start back in on defense as Martin comes back in and Guttery has his pants back up.
Got a little uniform malfunction.
I thought he hurt his hand. What he was doing was holding his pants up. So we'll have a 3rd down and we'll call it 16 yards as they'll go out of this offset eye again, takes the snap, hand the off on the counter, and they're going to go straight up the middle for the touchdown. And the Mavericks got caught on misdirection there. Not sure where the middle linebacker went to. Followed the ball to the right, and that's going to be a touchdown. As the Raiders score with 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, take a 20-0 lead. Mavericks had them 3rd and 15, Dan, and just got caught up with some eye candy, and they ran the counter back to the middle, and it was a hole big enough that anyone could have run through.
Yeah, it's just a little miscommunication there about the Mavericks, and it kind of caught them off guard. But we're gonna get the ball here, and it'd be nice to go down and put some points on the board.
So they'll go back in this Maryland eye and try to run it up the middle, and the Mavericks are gonna stop them in the middle. The big running back pops to the outside, and they'll get 2 points. The Mavericks all of a sudden, after playing a good first half, find themselves down 22-0. With 7.5 minutes left, they'll get the ball for the first time in the 3rd quarter. Mavericks playing tough, just can't quite get the stops they've needed. They've given up 2 touchdowns on 3rd and 15 or longer here inside the red zone.
Yeah, it was a good defensive series though by the Mavericks. I'm still good the way they're playing, and with enthusiasm, and like I say, we're gonna get the ball back here. It's gonna be interesting to see what changes they made, at halftime, and how we're gonna come out here and address the offense.
The Mavericks come out on their kickoff as White will go back deep. Riverfield will be kicking from right to left. Mavericks have the scoreboard here at Buster Crawford Stadium behind them.
Be interested to see if they're going to kick it deep to Jake. I think they're going to try to keep it away from Jake.
Well, he'll be flanked by Bideman and Ethan White. Jake White's on the 15. And here comes the kick. It's going to be kind of a pooch kick, and fair catch at 30. I wish he wouldn't have done that. I think he had room to run, and that kind of goes back to last year's coaching staff where they wanted them to fair catch everything instead of bringing it back. I'm more of an aggressive type guy.
Yeah, I'm like you. I believe he had enough. He at least had 5-10 yards in front of him he could have run, because it wasn't a high kick, and so he would have picked up 5 to 10 yards before the coverage ever got to him.
So Thrasher will come back in. Quarterback, 7.5 minutes. Mavericks have it on the, they marked it on the 29-yard line. 1st and 10, down 22-0 to the number 5 team in the state, Riverfield Academy. They'll go from a shotgun formation, and they're going to get it off to White. He stumbles in the backfield and then gets a yard or two as he's able to come off the right side. And now we got a penalty coming in here late. Not sure what it's on. There's a lot of chirping starting to go on. The Manchester team pointing at Riverfield. We'll see who this is going to be on.
Looks like he's facing Manchester direction, but it is a lot of extracurricular going on the Riverfield side. Don't need to get caught up in it.
Yeah, that was in the backfield. I'm not sure who that was. The referee threw it. The Mavericks were pointing at number 20, who was on this side, and that's what I was watching. He had pulled down Nixon, and they're going to call it on Riverfield. So the Mavericks will pick up the 1st down on the personal foul. That's the 3rd one tonight against Riverfield. Mavericks have been able to keep their composure. You know, we caught a couple last week against Winona that hurt us.
Yeah, but you know, refs aren't. You know, they're finally getting back up a little even here on the calls. But those big penalties, you know, they went from the 30 to almost 50. So it definitely helps out.
So Mavericks will go with 3 wide receivers and back into that Wildcat. We'll call it the Wild Bull formation. They give it to White. Goes to the outside behind Miller. This time he's swallowed up again at the scrimmage. And at this point, and here comes another flag. This one could be on White. I think he turned around and said something as they were pushing and shoving as they got up. We'll see what it is. And we got a timeout on Riverfield, so it may be a penalty on Riverfield. I think they may have called a timeout to stop it.
Yeah, it looked like it to me. When it went on Riverfield, it was taunting. As soon as they raveled Jake, number 14, their running back linebacker jumped up and was, you know, in his face over the top of it.
Unsportsmanlike on Riverfield. That's 2 back-to-back. And referees, you know, we played at Kirk. They let Kirk get away with it all night. They're taking control of this game, and that's what they're supposed to do. As the Mavericks are now on the 39-yard line of Riverfield, making a drive with the help. What I was going to say before the penalties, they have keyed on that Wildcat formation. We've run everything right behind Miller and Ethan White. I keep waiting on them to run a trick or something out of it, but we'll see how they do this. We'll go back. It looks like we'll stick with the Wildcat. This time they're going to move Miller and White to the field side on our side, the near side of the field room. Maybe this is where they'll try to, you know, hit them for a little dink pass or something over the middle. As White again lines up, receiver on this side will be Nixon. On the far side of the slot will be Thrasher, the quarterback. As White goes back to the Wild Maverick, and again he's going to run and get a few yards, tough yards up the middle, and fumbles the ball, but I think the Mavericks recovered it. Was that? Nope, I thought Guttery got it, but it looks like it's going to be a fumble. And Mavericks turn over the ball on downs on the 33-yard line after having a good drive going. Ball squirted away from Jake White as he was being tackled. And Mavericks are back on defense, trailing 22-0 with 6 minutes and 48 seconds left here in the second half. 3rd quarter of the second half.
Yeah, that was, you know, we had a good drive going there. You know, we had a couple penalties there, but hey, 30 yards of penalties is always a good thing. And but you know, need to set the Mavericks back over here on defense. So we need to come up with a stop. We have flip field position, so they got a long field ahead of them.
Yeah, Figure had gotten on the ball, but didn't quite get there. They'll put their slot in motion, this I formation, and again, this time they catch him, I think, in motion. He stumbled again as he started off, and finally they called it. The coaches again were jumping up and down on the sideline. Mavericks finally getting a few calls to go their way. Some costly ones at the end of the first half that killed a drive that, you know, could have resulted in a field goal.
Yeah, you know, Riverfield come up with a turnover, you know, with a takeaway there. It'd be nice to see the Mavericks come up with a takeaway here, whether we can pick up a fumble or an interception. You know, pass much tonight.
I want to mention Callahard's. He's on this side at cornerback. He's got his first start tonight, and he's looked good, Dan.
He has.
As the ball's going to be handed off down the right side, and not much running room, maybe 3 yards. A host of Mavericks get there. Not sure who was there first.
I believe first one to make contact with Joseph Whiteman, and then the Postgame Mavericks come in.
Came up from the safety spot. It's going to bring up a second down and about 9 yards. They picked up, we'll call it 5 yards on that carry. It's just a little bit past the original first marker. So 2nd and 9 coming up. Mavericks like to see them get a stop, put them in a punting formation here. On 2nd and 9, the Mavericks need 2 stops here. They'll run 2 receivers on the near side, stay in that I formation. Again, put the big number 80 tight end in motion. Hand it off on that left side, and there's a little bit of running room this time behind them. He ain't gonna quite get the first down, but they were able to squirt away Miller on the left side that time, and they're gonna pick up 4 yards and make it a 3rd down and 3, maybe 5 yards. So 3rd and 3 coming up.
Yeah, it's a big play here for the Mavericks. That was, like they Riverfield's kind of figured out something, putting that big man in motion and getting behind him and running the running back right behind him.
Yeah, the Mavericks almost have to sell out here. I think Riverfield's happy to run the ball with 5.5 minutes left, up 22-0. Mavericks just need to sell out on the run. They'll go under center this time, take the snap, hand it off on the left, and he's going to be drugged down, I think, just short. Gets a really good spot at the end. The referee on this side has him a yard short. The referee on the other side has a first down, and they're going to give him a first down. That spot was not a very
He was hit at the line of scrimmage, and Ethan was able to bring him down. He might have gained a yard, but the referee gave him a generous 2 yards to get the first.
Yeah, the line judge on this side had the ball spotted a yard behind the first down marker, and he gets it just barely with the other referee, and that brings up 1st and 10 from the 45. Mavericks had a chance just then to get off the field as Riverfield takes a snap, tosses to the left, has some running room as Edgar's chasing. Callahar comes up and runs them out of bounds, but a nice game by Riverfield. They pick up 9 yards, and Edgar just couldn't quite get to him. He got to the outside and brings up a 2nd short.
Yeah, they were holding Edgar's jersey on this side as they got around the edge, and I believe is why they were able to get out to the outside a little bit. But nice play by Callahar to come up and make the tackle.
Mavericks playing hard, look like they're getting a little bit tired out there. There's a couple of them have been over. A lot of them playing both ways. The line I've noticed for Riverfield, defense and offensive line are different lines. They hurry to the line now, go under center, put number 80 in motion again, and will hand off behind him again and not go very far as Miller's in there first with, looks like Martin again. Martin and then Woods. Actually, it was Woods that time that came out from under. They had picked up the first down on that last run. I said it to be 2nd short. They gave him the first, and this is going to be a 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 with the ball sitting on the Mavericks 45-yard line with 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Trailing 22-0.
You watch here when they run that same formation, when they got the big guy in motion, they got their fullback up so close, hitting the fullback and knocking him out of position. False start.
They'll take a tall sweep to the right side this time as they're trying to get to the outside. They do is they block Miller on that side with 2 people, pushed him off the line and gets to the outside. It's going to be a pick up about 6 yards as the Mavericks really are starting to tire. I see several of our guys down with their hands on their knees, and just it's tough playing both ways against a team that's got twice as many players as you do.
It is. You can tell they're getting winded. Still playing with a lot of heart though. There's a big 3rd down coming up here, so be good to dig down one time and get a stop.
3rd and 3 coming up. They'll take a snap, and Mavericks almost jump off, but don't quite, and then they throw a flag. I didn't think he got in the neutral zone, but they're going to call offsides. I believe that's going to be on Max Hayes as he kind of flinched. I didn't think it was enough that he got across, and it's going to cost the Mavericks a chance to stop them. It's going to be 1st and 10 now on the 39-yard line or 34-yard line.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I didn't think he quite got in the neutral zone.
So 1st and 10. Raiders deep in the Mavericks territory as they go underneath, put the slot in motion. Again, toss it out the outside, and a little better job by the Mavericks that time of stringing it out, pick up 4, and there's a late flag that comes in. I'm not sure who that's going to be on, but I'm thinking maybe the Mavericks. They were the only ones around.
I didn't see it either.
Their Mavericks are clapping, though. It may be on number 76. He may have hit somebody late, the lineman. He was over there. I didn't see it. The Raiders are kind of in disbelief also. All of them have their hands up. I don't know what happened on that. We'll wait for the call. 2 minutes 56 seconds left in the third quarter. Mavericks trail 22-0 against the number 5 team. Here comes the call from the referee. It's going to be a unsportsmanlike against the Raiders again. That's the 4th or 5th one tonight on them. And I don't think that one was as malicious. I think number 76 right tackle just kept his block a little bit too long after the whistle.
Yeah, as many as they've got, they ought to be getting 2 on 1, go get a couple of them tossed out. They've about one of them on offense, kind of unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, I'm not sure these referees are capable of keeping up with numbers. They've missed a bunch of calls, but they've gotten some right. They've struggled some on some obvious calls. But 2 minutes 56 seconds left again. Mavericks, Raiders trying to help the Mavericks out as they'll have first down and 20 after the penalty. And they're waiting on the ref on the far side because their coach is now unhappy with the referees. Referees unpopular, kind of like the fire. Somebody's always mad at them, one side or the other.
Always.
They'll go out that I formation. Receivers in the near side take the snap, get it off straight up the middle, hit it right at the line, and game tackle. The Raiders are this time. The Mavericks are going to get a penalty for going too long afterwards, as Miller and White had stopped the run on that side. They're going to call this one on the Mavericks, I think. Well, yep. I'm not sure what they just called, to be honest.
It's going to be unsportsmanlike on Lane Woods. They blow the whistle and he slung him onto the ground, but I mean, he was making a good stop.
So they'll march this one back. Good gravy. That was 5, 10, 15. That was a 20-yard penalty. I'm not sure they stepped that one off in the right spot. And the chains had already moved, but it was on the 40. I guess that's right. They're down to 25. The tackle was back to the 45. So be 1st and 3, went from 1st and 20 to 1st and 3. As under snap the ball, hand it off on the right side, and number 7 will squirt across the line for a first down to 20. And there's another penalty coming in, and I think this one's going to be on the Raiders. And I'm not sure what's going on with the Raiders. They're not playing very smart football at this point.
No, you're winning the ball game 22-0. I mean, I know you've been in a dogfight, but you've been able to outweigh the match here, and you still personal penalties.
This is 4 straight plays, and going back for Manchester fumble ball, I believe there's been 4 out of the last 7 plays have been penalties on Riverfield personal fouls. Mavericks had 1. It was personal foul, and Mavericks played hard, a little bit too hard after the whistle. So now we go from 1st and 20 to 1st and 3, back to 1st and 13.
They've even got the chain gang confused.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get out Chinese calculators to keep up with all of this. So I think the officials have called a official timeout here to give the boys both sides time to 13, maybe 14 yards from the Mavericks 37, as Riverfield Academy has had the ball most of this quarter, but have only come up with one touchdown. They do 22-0. Mavericks fought them tooth and nail in the first half, trailed 6-0 after the first quarter. Raiders got a with a minute 18 left in the first half, and then scored on their opening drive. Mavericks were driving, got down to the 30-yard line before the fumble on their drive during the third quarter, and now face the Raiders, who now they're going to move the chains again. I'm really confused now. It's going to be 1st and 10. They backed them up. Maybe got that first down, I guess, and it's after the play. So
It's the same call they did in the first half, and you know, on a personal foul, I don't believe you give them first down and bring it back.
So that's what they're going to say has happened. He got the first down on the run. It was after the play, and it'll be 1st and 10 from 37. So we've got to be getting close to some kind of record on personal fouls here.
Yeah, when they called that timeout, a couple of the refs come over here to the Manchester side and we're talking with the coaches, but I didn't see any go to the Riverfield side and talk with them. They're the ones getting the personal
So I formation again. They'll take a snap, toss to the left side. Edgar tries to set the corner, doesn't get it set. Didn't do a bad job, but the running back's going to get by him and run for a first down before he's brought down at 40 by number 42, Ethan White. I thought Edgar may have been getting held a little bit. He was trying to string it out and just couldn't quite string it out far enough to get help from the cornerback. Wasn't a bad job, just couldn't quite get the corner. I see a lot of the fans down there saying it was a hole too. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 now from 3.
They're quick to throw on the personal fouls on the sportsmanlike, but they're missing easy calls.
Yeah, under 2 minutes to go with a high formation, and they take the snap, hand it off up the middle. The running back makes a nice cut back to the right, and he's going to pick up a chunk this time. Came over the left side, didn't have anything there, and moved to the right. A nifty little move, and he started up the middle for about 7, 8, maybe give him 9 yards. Brings up 2nd and 1, minute 40 left in this quarter. Well, Dan, the score tonight's not quite indicative of the way this game's been played. 22-0. Mavericks have played a good game. Just can't quite get anything going. As number 7 is going to rumble down to the 3-yard line. White came up. That's going to probably be a penalty on number 55, but they didn't call it on the Mavericks that time. As Woods and him sling down an offensive lineman late, and he's going to come out of the game. Coaches saw it too. So frustration's building on both sides right now.
Yeah, I think that was more a good Oscar performance by the offensive lineman. He did one of those flops.
Well, it was right in front of the referee.
Yeah.
He didn't throw his flag. But 1st and goal from the 1 with 46 seconds left in the quarter. And they'll go under the I formation again. They'll hand off the ball straight ahead, and Mavericks get to him, but he's going to barely get over the line for a touchdown. Mavericks going to go down 28-0 now to Riverfield Academy with 35 minutes left, or 35 seconds left in the third quarter. And the Mavericks have a man down. We'll see who the player is.
Looked like Joseph Biden.
Biden, and I think he just got caught where you don't want to be caught.
Yeah.
So he's coming off the field. I saw his hands go down between his legs.
Yeah, he's running a little gingerly over to the sideline.
I'm looking down at Mom and Dad. They don't seem to be too concerned with him as he got over the sideline. But again, the Raiders are going to go for 2, see if they can get this lead to 30-0 with 35 seconds left here in the third quarter. Mavericks have fought hard and starting to get a little bit tired here against this big team from Riverfield. They'll go out that Maryland eye, take the snap, and it's going to be a little jump pass and incomplete. No, had it in his hands, and Callahar got over there just enough to mess with him, and he dropped it, and the score stays 28-0 with 35 seconds left in the quarter. Dan, I'd like to see us come down the field, score. What we can do after that.
I would too. That was a nice play there by Callahar. Come in there and just get his hand in there and knock it loose.
Mavericks. In fact, that was the play I was talking about. I'd like to see him use the white when he goes to the wild Maverick. I guess, what do you like, Wildcat, Wild Maverick, Wild Bull?
Yeah, Wild Maverick. Well, that sounds good.
The Wild Maverick.
He was wide open. Callahar was just able to regain and come back in there and knock it loose.
He had it in his hands, and Callahar got in there after he caught it and was able to pull it loose. Nice play. Callahar, like I said, has played a really good game. He's been aggressive coming up. I've been real impressed with him tonight, getting his first start. He's one of the seniors on the team.
Yeah, he's played some good ball tonight.
As Riverfield again is ready to kick off, and they're going to pooch this one. And this time, Thrasher catches at the 40 and doesn't fair catch and gets all the way back to the 45-yard line, 44. So that's what we were talking about. You only get that extra. If they're going to give you 5 or 10 yards, take it.
Yeah, that was a good job there by Thrasher to just tuck your head and run, get you about 5 yards.
Edgar came off the sideline. He's got to play. 24 seconds left in the third quarter. Mavericks trailing 28-0. Riverfield Academy looking to move to possibly 3-1 on the season. Good team in 3A football. Mavericks have followed tooth and nail tonight, as they'll go out of the pistol formation with 2 wide receivers to the far side, and 1 to the near. He can run that option. He's going to make a nice pitch to White. White's going to be upended after a gain of 3. Good job by the cornerback that time from Riverfield coming up and making the stop.
Yeah, he was able to get position. And, I believe if I'm not sure if Grant went out pass there or the cornerback was able to get position on him.
I think he just got position, and Grant was smart enough not to push him from behind. He kind of got into him.
Yes,
look,
heads up play.
Let's pick up 3 yards, not get -10 for a hole blocking the back. So end of the quarter, Mavericks go into the fourth trailing 28-0. They'll have the ball on the 46-yard line as they're in the huddle right now. Again, we want to thank our sponsors tonight as they bring us football on Power 107. Thank you to Bank Plus. There's Simmons Catfish, Scott Petroleum, Hope Feed, Bank of Yazoo City, Manchester Academy, Yazoo Valley, Calibration, Caleb Insurance, Webb's Pharmacy, P-Rose, Yazoo County Board of Supervisors, and the Yazoo Fair Commission. They bring you Manchester Academy football each week. Also, Gilbert's Lumber brings you the Player of the Week each week, as well as Jim Newsom Trucking brings you each week. So the Mavericks will have second down and 7 from the 46. Again, 3 wide receivers on the left. Takes a snap. They're going to look at running a wide receiver screen. I don't know if that was designed or not, but Thrasher faked the throw and then took off running. He's going to lose a yard. They may have jumped the route a little bit, and he just decided to eat it instead of throwing an interception.
It looked like we were going to do that little screen play out here to Edgar again, and it looked like they were kind of eating that play.
So the Mavericks will break huddle here, stay in this offensive. Well, they'll go to I formation under center with Miller moving back, 2 wide receivers each side, or 1 wide receiver each side, and they'll roll out Thrash, and he'll make a pass out to 42, Ethan White. He's going to be, as soon as he catches it, and he's going to be just short of the line of game, brings up 4th and 2. The Mavericks will absolutely go for this. They're in 4-down territory now. They're on the 47-yard line of Riverfield as Edgar's going to come into play. We got 10 minutes, 50 seconds left. Mavericks need first down here to keep this drive going.
Yeah, big 4th down coming up here for the Mavericks, just over the 50. You need to get this first down.
Let's see how they run this. They're going to go out of the I formation again. Receivers on each side take the snap. They're going to hand it off straight up the middle. White's fighting hard, and I think he's going to be just. And we'll see where that is. And it looks like he's going to be maybe a half a ball short. I don't think they're even measure this one, Dan, is it looks like it's just short.
It's two, two spots here.
So we'll see what's now already moving their men to the defensive side of the ball. Still not motion. I'm not sure what they're talking about. Mavericks think they were short, and they're going to call a timeout.
A little short, looks like.
They're going to measure it, but I think that's going to be a half a yard short for sure. That's about what it is, about a ball length for me. Couldn't quite get over. That one I might well have liked to see them in the Wildcat. Just, they moved the ball pretty good, gotten yards, but they had a chance. They were good play. The Riverfield Raiders did and stopped the Mavericks just short. And they'll take over the ball on their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, it's a series here. The Mavericks need to stop. You don't want to get 5 and make that clock start running. We've been in this ball. Let's make this ball game all the way to the end.
The Mavericks will back on defense. Play a hard game on guys. Up in that formation. Hands off up the middle, and he doesn't have much room again. Good tackling in the middle. This team has really come to play. That middle's killed us all year long, Dan, and we've flown to the ball against a much bigger line. This is the biggest line we've faced all year. As the Mavericks have a man slow to get up. I'm not sure who it is.
I believe it's a cramp on Lane Woods. He a sophomore or a freshman?
He's a sophomore.
And he's played big time tonight. He stepped up on that line, with Bunch out. He stepped up. He's played good tonight.
And he'll come out for a second. I think Max Johnson's coming in. Yeah, I think he's cramped up is all a little bit. Like I said, it's still a little muggy. We're in September. It's been cooler than normal in the last couple of weeks, but these guys on Manchester team, they're playing both ways. And as Riverfield's got some big offensive linemen, big defensive linemen. They're in platoons on the line, and they're just kind of starting to wear us down at this point.
Yeah, he's cramping up. He's grabbing his leg up here on the sideline, and hopefully he'll hydrate and get back in there and just ball game because he's played a good game.
Well, the Mavericks will play next week, I think, against Greenville St. Joe. I'll have to look up and see.
Homecoming next week?
Maybe. I don't have the schedule right in front of me. See if I can come up with it here. As Mavericks are ready to come out of the timeout, they'll go back under the I formation. Riverfield, they'll make a toss sweep to the right as they get up, and Miller and White make the tackle. Nice play as Miller was able to get off his block. White trailing, and they'll come up with a tackle of only a 3-yard gain, bringing the 3rd down and 4 for the Raiders.
Yeah, a lot of the Mavericks are grabbing calves and quad cramping up a little bit, but hopefully they'll piece together and finish this ball game on out. It'd be good to get a stop right here. Force Riverfield. I believe they punt from the 50, being up 28-0.
You would think so. We'll see what happens. Yes, next week the Mavericks play Carroll Academy at home. Not sure if it's homecoming, but it may be 3rd and 4 coming up. They're going to hand the ball straight in the middle. Nice play by Guttery. Hits him in the backfield. Doesn't have much help, and the running back's able to get a gain of about 3 yards. Mavericks really needed him to be stopped shorter than that, but it'll bring up a big 4th down play, and I think they're going to go for it. They're wanting to eat clock away with 8.5 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. 4th and 2. Guttery got him in the backfield, just couldn't quite get him to the ground. He's cramping a little bit now, Dan.
Yeah, they're all grabbing toes and cramping, but you got to dig down right here and make this fourth down stop.
So big play coming up, I formation. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the near side. Let's see if they'll try to make the Mavericks jump. They didn't. They hand the ball off, and they're going to get a 1st down just as number 7. Again, he's shifty, and he squirts across the line, gets about 2.5-yard gain, keeps those chains moving in the clock, and that's what Riverfield's looking for. The Mavericks have had some 3rd downs tonight, just hadn't been able to stop them, to get off the field. That was actually a 4th down, I guess.
I think Riverfield's just trying to
Mavericks
on the clock. They just trying to. They know they've been in a fight.
again, they'll run that set of eye, 2 tight ends. Mavericks come in deep. They'll toss it to the right. Thrasher's getting out there. No, they're going to get a hold. I saw it right there. The running back's going to go down the sideline for a big gain. But this one's going to come back as White is being held. Ethan White by the right end, and that's going to cost him 10 yards and drop back in that side of the territory. Like I said, Manchester played hard, but they're giving out. You know, half the defense has been over right now.
Yeah.
Tough conditioning when you're playing 11 against, 22 people. You've got to be well conditioned. I think we're in pretty. This is the first time I've seen it at all during the season.
It is. It goes back to the Mavericks. If I believe those first 2 ball games would have been a lot different if they had put the intensity they got tonight. They come out to prove a point tonight, and they played good ball tonight.
Yeah, I think the boys were glad to be home.
Yeah.
After a couple of road games, it's been a long season, coaching changes at the beginning of the season. It's been a tough go for the boys to be mentally prepared. As Riverfield fumbles a snap, I think the quarterback was able to get back on it. It was going to be a 1st and 7. Looks like he's still going to be right around the 7 yards to go mark as he was able to get back on it before Martin could get to it. But like I said, the boys have gone through some adversity. Manchester made a coaching change 4 weeks before the season. Named Coach Beckwith the head coach, and just a lot went on for the boys during the summer after all that. But they seem to have gone a little bit better tonight. And I'd like to see how they're going to come out and play against Carroll next week, as they go under the I formation again. And this time, Thrasher comes in on a run blitz, and Mavericks miss him in the backfield. Jake White comes up, and again, I don't know how this guy got away. The Mavericks had him for about a 6-yard loss, and it's going to be a 1st down. White's down holding his stomach. I think he got the breath knocked out of him. Miller's on the ground. I saw that when he got blindsided, and he's stumbling around, getting back up. Mavericks should have had him for a big loss here, Dan, and let him scoop down for a 1st down, and White's in some pain. Ethan White is. I hope it's not his hip. He had hurt it last week. I couldn't tell if he grabbed his stomach or his hip there.
Yeah, I couldn't either. Couldn't tell if he was grabbing at his. Say if he got the wind knocked, he's getting back up.
I think he got the wind knocked out of him at the end. Maybe caught something to the stomach. He's up moving around. That's a good sign. Miller's down though, sitting down. He got walloped from the side. I'm not sure he knows where he is right now. As he stumbled over there from the right side, he's still trying to shake the cobwebs off. Now he's back up. He took a big lick on what was a crackback, and the referees didn't call it. But Mavericks had golden opportunity. Had it 2nd and 7. Nice play by Thrasher. Got back to the quarterback on a run blitz, and how he got away from all our guys, I have no idea. I think we were just tired.
I believe so too, because he broke 8 or 9 tackles, and we had him. I mean, locked up.
Yeah. So they'll go back under the I formation. They're going to get Guttery this time cheating up, and he jumps, and it's going to make it a 1st and 5 now from the 20 with 6 minutes 17 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Mavericks are just running out of steam here.
Yeah, we're just making those mental errors now. Like you say, when you get gas, you get tired. Mental steps in too.
Miller and Nixon, I think, were talking. They were not sure what the kind of miscommunication was on that side. They're trying to talk it out, but under the center goes the quarterback again. I formation. He's going to sweep to the right, and the running back makes a little cut. Owen Pillow makes a nice job coming up from the safety spot, saves a big run. It's going to be about 4 or 5 yard gain. It's going to be close to the 1st down, but a nice job by Pillow as he came up and made the tackle.
Yeah, it was a good job by Pillow. He coming in and looked like the running back had a little room, and he was able to come in and make the hit.
So the Mavericks the Raiders will move the chains again. They'll have it 1st down now on the Maverick 15-yard line. They'll go under center in the I formation, put the back in motion. They're going to run a reverse, and he's going to have it wide open as Bidelman missed him in the backfield. And it was a well-run reverse. They've been running that play over and over all night, putting them in motion as they fake the handoff to the tackle or the running back over the right tackle and hand it around coming on the back end. That makes the score 34-0 with 4.5 minutes left. So we'll see if they kick the extra point or they're going to go for 2 again. They had an extra point blocked early on. So they'll go to that Maryland I, 3 running backs in the line. They'll hand it off to big number 80 again, and this time Guttery gets them in the field and just couldn't bring them down. That is a big guy in the Mavericks. They've just worn down. They're having a hard time getting up off the ground at this point. The score now is 36-0, and Riverfield's just a big physical team, and eventually just ran us down here in the second half.
Yeah, the score is not going to reflect the way this game was played. You know, now that they've put up 36 points, it's definitely not going to reflect the way the game was played.
So the Mavericks will get the ball once they kick off. Clock will run the rest of the time. 3 minutes 36 seconds left. No reason for the boys to hang their heads down tonight. It's a loss, and they'll regroup and play a good Carroll team next week. I'm not sure who they played tonight. They played Starkville Academy hard, but Mavericks showed they can play with the big boys tonight as they were able to hang in there for 3 quarters before just giving out gas. Like I said, Riverfield's got 46 players. Mavericks have 23 and have 2 out tonight, so they're playing with 21 players. And most of everybody's gone both ways and not even getting a chance to come off on special teams.
Yeah, and you're missing one of your good defensive linemen too. You're missing Sam Bunch, big kid, big physical kid. One of your leading tacklers coming in from last year, and so you're missing a big key to the defense. But we've had, like I say, Lane Wood stepped up big tonight, and it's had some good plays on defense tonight.
So the Mavericks will have Jake White deep as Riverfield to kick off, and they'll pooch it. It's going to go to Thrasher again. He'll try to get to the right side. He's got a little running room over there, but he's going to be slung down from behind by, I think the kicker got to him. He's trying to reverse the field. Mavericks will have good field position, so they'll take over on their own 39-yard line with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left. We'll see what they try to do here. Is Thrasher will stay in at quarterback.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see them catching those kicks and trying to turn them into something.
Well, we were a couple plays from this being really close. White had 3 plays that he was a step away, arm tackle of breaking touchdowns. We give up 2 third and longs for touchdowns. It was a good game. The Mavericks stuck in there and had a chance to really make it competitive going in third. As they go into the I formation, they're going to hand the ball off to White. He'll run to the left side with not much gain. Probably gets back to the line of scrimmage. Clock's down to 1.5 minutes now. I think the Mavericks at this point are content to take their time, let the clock run out, and prepare next week for homecoming at Carroll Academy. Big crowd this week. Hope they'll show up again next week for Manchester's game day. As we were, they were in the game too as the boys were playing good in the first half.
Yeah, it's a big crowd, and they enthusiastic, and and boys play harder.
So the Mavericks will go from a I formation again as Thrasher goes under center. He's got 1 second on the play clock. We did get enough time. He's going to run a scramble to the right side, kind of improvise, but is going to make it to the line of scrimmage and then pick up about 3 yards. Good hard run by Thrasher. 40 seconds left. I think that's probably going to be the last play as the clock should run out. Well, there's actually 3 seconds different. The Mavericks will have to take one more snap. We'll see if maybe they try to throw something here.
Yeah, we're going to have to take one more snap. The Mavericks don't have anything to hang their heads down tonight. They played a hard fall game tonight, and like you say, the Riverfield just outlasted us.
So the Mavericks will line up. They'll go in a shotgun formation with Ethan White in the backfield. Thrasher takes the ball, drops back. As Looking's going to be held. He had a man deep, and it's going to be knocked down, and that's going to do it. Is they'll decline the penalty on the holding, and the Mavericks going to lose this one 36-0 on a game that was a lot closer through 3 quarters. End up giving up a couple of touchdowns in the fourth. Just ran out of steam, Dan.
Yeah, you know, I still say the Mavericks played a good game tonight. You know, they nothing hang their head down. They fought hard tonight, and the score doesn't reflect how this game was played.
Well, looking ahead, the Mavericks will play Carroll Academy next week. We're going to go to Power 107 for a 2-minute commercial break and then come back with a quick post-game show for next week.